Good evening, Premier. It would seem that only locals are bringing this virus to Bermuda via the planes, but because of the new variants in this virus are much stronger, why are we not issuing a quarantine order for 14 days for anyone who travels on the flights that the virus is captured on?
That's not part of our current policy right now, but as I've indicated, and I think about 2 weeks of press conferences, our future adjustments will take that into account.
Okay. All right. With the current situation of 16-year-olds and younger not required to take the vaccine, what is the plan for the Carifta Games, as this is another major international event that is scheduled to take place in Bermuda in August, and the requirement is, as it stands, is if you're not vaccinated, you're not permitted, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So what is the idea around another international event? Will concessions be made for that?
I don't have the specifics on the CRIFTA Games. I do know that the Minister of Youth, Culture, and Sports is working on matters surrounding CRIFTA, and so when those things become a little bit more clear, we'll be happy to report them, but I don't have any information on CRIFTA at this time.
Okay. And what is the plan to control the crowds that will most likely go on the water next Saturday and Sunday, as we have yachts at Hamilton Princess that will likely go out there, as well as local boats, as without some control, this could possibly turn into a super spreader. What is the plan for that?
Well, first thing is, I'm certain that there will not be a super spreader event. I'm relatively confident that the enforcement services will be able to enforce. We have set out the rules and laws very clearly, and that there's no mixing of households. And I think that those rules will be enforced perfectly.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of speculation that once the SailGP event is over, the country will go on a shutdown. What can you say to the people of Bermuda to address this talk?
I would say that there's people who probably spend a little bit too much time engaging in conspiracy theories. And I promise you that I don't sit here at this desk while I'm here in isolation, cooking up ways to try to hoodwink and deceive people. We are here to do the work of trying to keep the country safe, trying to make sure that we hold clear to our election promises by rebuilding this economy and rebuilding it with Bermudians at heart. So we go through the processes. People will go ahead and make whatever noise and suggestions. Some people do it because they actually feel that way. Other people do it because they want to make political noise or mischief. Those are people who just create accounts, put things, start things online, etc. The government of Bermuda will remain focused. The cabinet of Bermuda will remain focused. This is without question a setback. It's not a place we wanted to be, but we've demonstrated before that we can get past this. And I have no doubt that this government working together with the amazing and awesome support of all of our healthcare professionals will get past this stage.
Okay. I may have missed it, but will the parks and beaches be open as of Tuesday?
The plan is for parks to be able to be reopened, but the fact is that you are not allowed to mix households. That is what is the key point of what we are trying to stop, the transmission from house to house. We are moving in the correct direction, and we need to continue to move in the correct direction. And I will say this, Earl, if we see that there's abuse, if we see there's people that are not doing what's necessary, we do not have an issue closing beaches and parks.
And the final one, individual sports, will they be able to operate?
We haven't laid out the specifics on sports. What I would say is that if persons are mixing households, that would not be permitted. So that's what so mixing of households is not something that is allowed when you're in close contact with persons. In that measure, it's not things that are allowed, for instance, as long as you maintain social distancing. But if there's any specifics on that, we're happy to put those out. And there may be further releases from the Minister of Youth, Culture, and Sport. But on a broader level, I want people to recognize and understand we are at the first phase of this relaxation. We said a few weeks ago that we're focusing on data and not dates. We'll let the data guide us. We'll set an outline of dates so people can attempt to try to plan. But the most important way for us to get to a place of normality is, number one, for people not to mix households. Number two, for persons to follow public health advice. And number three, to speak to your doctor about getting vaccinated. And if your doctor says it's something that is recommended, you should go ahead and do so.
Okay. That's my questions for the night.
Thank you, Earl.